name is Stephanie Clark, and I am the CEO of Ohio Health, at least for today. So we're going to talk about 3 strategies that I'm hoping to utilize to help take Ohio Health to the next level. The first and foremost thing I want to talk about is our mission and vision. Our mission is to improve the health of those we serve, and our vision is where people want to work, where physicians want to practice, and most importantly, where patients want to go when they need healthcare services. It's important for us to achieve our organizational goals, and mission and vision statements help align strategic decisions with organizational objectives. Before a strategic plan can be developed, an organization must have a clear vision and mission to help clarify who and how the organization is different from the rest. We are lucky that we have already a strong vision and mission statement, and we're going to use that to help guide us on our next steps in our journey. First and foremost, we want to take care of our caregivers. And as our vision statement says, we want to be the place where providers want to practice. In order to continue to be the healthcare employer of choice, we need to focus on taking care of those who take care of others. The pandemic put a significant amount of stress on our healthcare providers, and we're all recovering, and we definitely want to recognize that. First and foremost, ensuring adequate staffing is top priority. Like most industries, there are staffing gaps. Unlike other industries, our staffing gaps are exaggerated by providers who are traumatized, stressed, anxious, and possibly experiencing some post-traumatic stress. In order to address those staffing gaps, a staffing command center to address long-term and immediate staffing needs will be established. They will have a global view of staffing needs throughout the organization, and they're going to help triage those needs. They're also going to help with hiring and coming up with incentives to retain and hire new talent. Additionally, we are going to be increasing our employee assistance programs and offering additional mental health benefits. I think we've all been through the ringer for this last year, and I think this is an important thing that we cannot ignore. Lastly, we know that the emotional stress that our providers have been exposed to in this past year have been unprecedented. Healthcare providers are rating stress, anxiety, moral distress, and post-traumatic stress at higher rates than ever before. We are partnering with military, law enforcement, and the fire service to help develop debriefing programs to help provide immediate support for our staff after a traumatic event. And that's just not pandemic support, that's going forward. Our recovery blueprint should not be like any other industry, and we need to take care of our caregivers. Our next strategy is we want to make sure that we grow in the right direction. Recently, there was a large medical center in our area that closed, and our knee-jerk reaction is to expand and take over that site and maybe build another medical center. However, when we conducted our market research, it became evident that building another medical center in the area is not the right decision. The community does need medical services, but not in a way that has been historically provided. We're going to get creative and think outside the box in order to provide the right kind of services for that community. Growing our organization doesn't necessarily mean keep building more and more hospitals. Identification of strengths and weaknesses help the organization strategize and problem solve to help make the organization stronger. We will be looking closely at what that community specifically needs. And in the case above, the vacuum that Mount Carmel left, we're going to be planning on building a freestanding emergency department to take care of those acute medical needs of the population. But we're also planning on offering more health and wellness services to help address various health disparities that are noted in that community specifically. Lastly, we're going to ensure a culture of safety. As Florence Nightingale says, the very first requirement in the hospital is that we should do sick no harm. In our modern advances, we've noticed in healthcare an increase for patient harm and injury. The majority of injuries are noted to be preventable. Ohio Health will continue our journey of looking at systematic flaws that result in patient harm and injury, rather than blaming individuals. We will continue our efforts to ensure strong safety practices that are already in place and clearly communicate work processes, standardization of equipment and supplies to remove any confusion, and continue our multidisciplinary collaboration. These are all techniques that have been demonstrated effective and will continue their use. Any change in culture can be challenging and slow. However, Ohio Health is committed to ensure the safety of our patients and our staff. We are dedicated to this change. And lastly, various references. If you have any questions, concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. I am more than happy to speak to any of these strategies, and I'm all ears to hearing any other suggestions. Thank you very much.